Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this Zoom meeting when we're going to discuss the new and wonderful new range in Nimue, the new purifying range to help people with problematic skin. We will have this session uploaded onto our YouTube channel, and you can review the technical files if you want to. To present these new products, we have the extraordinary Eunice Bredenkamp. She is someone that you will instantly recognize as an authoritative educator and trainer. But most importantly, you will also discover her unique and extraordinary human qualities and the joy that she has in sharing. It's in her voice, it's in her mannerism, it's all there. We are very privileged to have Eunice Bredenkamp with us. She is headhunted worldwide by various skincare companies. So to have her in the Nimue stable is a real privilege, and to have her with us tonight as well. So before I launch Eunice into her presentation, I just want to have a little moment of serious talk with you, because I just want to remind you quickly the psychological effects of and consequences of acne. And we know that there's been many studies on that subject done. It shows these studies, the results of these studies shows that how acne affects both adults and teenagers, and the consequences are really detrimental. People feel unattractive, they feel embarrassed, they feel very self-conscious. They avoid going to sports, or they avoid applying for a job or getting a job. They avoid socializing, going out to parties, participating in events, and so on. So for many people, having acne makes them feel on edge, and they're depressed and even suicidal. What we are going to show you and discuss is extremely important. The ramifications you can have on your clients are enormous. If you can offer your clients a long-term solution on their acne, if they're suffering from acne, they will be a client for life, if not a friend. They will tell their friends all about you if their friends haven't noticed the change. And it will certainly help your business to grow with a really good reputation. So it's definitely a very important skin condition to overcome, and to know how to overcome. This is a conviction I hold, and I know that this new range is extraordinary. It works it has the most advanced scientific breakthroughs. I just wanted to remind you how important it is to treat acne effectively and for the long term. So now I will keep my mouth shut, and I will hand over the microphone to Eunice. Eunice, welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Frank, for that introduction. Oh my goodness, now I am so nervous, guys. I have to live up to a really huge standard now, Frank. I hope that I can live up to that. I just want to put my presentation on slideshow. Frank, if I just can ask you to confirm that you can see the slides.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks also for the introduction to acne, because it's so true what Frank said. It is a real concern. Now, if you've never had acne, it is just another range. But if you've had acne, or had a son, a daughter, a friend, a brother, a sister that suffered from acne, you will really understand that tremendous effect it has on their self-esteem. And sometimes we forget about the boys. We forget men and acne. At least to a certain degree, women can hide it. We can put a lot of foundation on, and don't they? They really try to cover up everything, but a man can't. And I talk about personal experience. My son, who's now a very handsome 28 with no acne, but as a 17-year-old, he suddenly had an onset of acne. And he was a great performer academically, socially, sport, but it had such an effect on how he saw himself and how he believed people saw him during that 6-8 months phase. So I'm really excited to talk about the problematic range from Nimue and to share with you this amazing new technology. Now, I don't think that you are strangers to this type of visual. If you see this, you see microbiums, you see a strata microbium, you think of microbes. And we think of two things when we think of acne, and we see this picture. On the one side, you think, oh yes, microbes must be the main cause of acne. And the other side, you think, maybe it's something that we can improve in the microbiome to treat acne. And both ways, you are correct. So our new range has a completely new focus, a completely new take on treating this concern, the skin classification. We still use our ingredients in the previous range that were those ones that made the difference, always in Nimue's treatment of problematic skin, but we have made it even better. So we're going to start to just look quickly at the microbiome and why it is significant in the new range. Now, you know that you have billions of friendly microorganisms living on your skin surface. And I find it so interesting that when you touch somebody, you are coming in contact with a microbiome system. When you move into a new house, which I did over the weekend, there's a different microbiome environment you move into. When you move and meet new animals that you introduce into your life, there's a different microbiome around you that your body has to get used to. And that's not even mentioning your brain and your gut. So this is a very real concern, or should I say way, to improve so many things on your skin nowadays. And what we want to achieve with Nimue is a balanced skin microbiome. We want to be able to help the skin to have more than enough healthy microbiome movement, healthy microbiome layer, so that we can have an improved skin barrier as well as a healthy skin. So what we want to do is take your imbalanced microbiome, your imbalanced element, or your imbalanced layer, your barrier layer that causes acne, inflammation, and various other conditions, and help you to heal it. Nimue is a fix and heal brand. We're not a cosmetic brand, as you know. And the beauty of the times we live in now is that our clients, your clients are reading, listening to podcasts. They are involved in so many things in their daily routines and lives. They talk to people, and they have become aware of the importance of a healthy gut and a healthy skin microbiome. So I'm very excited to introduce to you the new Nimue problematic range, obviously for problematic skin. It's completely new. It's completely different. And where in the past, you could choose any day cream to work with our night cream, we now have a dedicated day cream in this new range as well. So who's this for? It's for any consumer of any age. And you will see later as I share with you, it's very exciting that one of the case studies that we did was on a 13-year-old that started to suffer from acne. So if I say any age, I really mean from teenager right through to adult onset acne, menopausal acne. So obviously your problematic skin classification, your typical acne prone skin, your lower grades of your active acne, your traditional breakouts, enlarged pores. Now, we don't associate acne necessarily just with enlarged pores. We think of blackheads and pimples and pustules, etc. But blackheads in the past, or maybe a oilier skin in the past, could cause an enlargement, a stretch of the pores. And it's found that this range also helps to refine the pores post-acne and post-oily skin classification. So it will target all causes of skin acne by enhancing the barrier, the skin health, and by limiting the effectiveness of bad bacteria, and of course, including and improving the effect of the good bacteria. And what else do we want from a problematic range? We would like decongesting, we would like detoxification and purifying. We would like to see a reduction in pore size and an improvement in skin texture. The calming of that inflammation that's associated with acne skin and with your oilier skin classifications. And by helping this client, we can regulate then the sebaceous activity and the breakouts of the skin. And why not then also focus on a mattifying effect? If there's one thing a client, apart from getting rid of the acne wants, is to not shine as much as they do. So we also offer mattification in this range. So it's a whole new concept, as I've mentioned. Let's take a look at this concept. We're treating acne, right? We're treating an inflammatory skin disease. We're treating a disease and a disorder that's associated with changes in your pilosebaceous unit. So what we see physically is your seborrhea, comedones, pustules, papules, nodules, and scarring, and of course, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So it's endless what we are dealing with when we have these clients. What we also are starting to focus now on is the bacteria, the microbiome, looking at the level and the balance between good and bad bacteria so that we can create a good status quo in the function of the STRATUM microbiome. Now we see our STRATUM microbiome as our level and our layer of fellow travelers. We are lucky to have all these wonderful millions and billions of travelers on our skin all the time, but we need to assist this layer. We need to make sure that they are friends and not our enemies. Now, bacteria, fungi, viruses, and their genes all have a place in your microbiome, and the diversity of this depends on the site of the body. The underarms versus the groin versus the face versus the hands. So we have a different diversity depending on the area that you work on or that you are aware of your concerns. And it outnumbers human cells 10 to 1. So for every one cell, there's 10 bacterial cells or microorganisms, so 10 times more bacteria than cells. And the formation starts at birth. How it starts between a normal vaginal birth compared to a cesarean section birth will also change the microbiome of the newborn. To understand this microbiome layer, let's see what the term strata microbiome means. That's just the active top layer. As you know, you are all skincare therapists. We've learned from our college days. You've got your stratum corneum, lucidum, granulosim, spinosum, germinativum. But the very, very top layer is your strata microbiome. It's an active layer. And as I've said in the previous slide, it accounts for almost 10 times as many cells as in the rest of the body. And what's the largest organ of the body? The skin. So when I then talk about your skin microbiome, that refers to your skin flora, or the skin microbiome, or the skin microbiota. So there are many terms that people use to determine and that to show you what they are in fact talking about: the microbiome layer, the strata microbiome, or the microbes on the skin. So how the skin microbiome, when does it appear? During or shortly after childbirth. And as I've mentioned to you, it would depend on whether a baby came through the birth canal or whether the baby came out via a cesarean section. This beautiful layer of fellow travelers, this normal microbiome is and offers a wide variety of normal good bacteria. And it consists of your commensal organisms that derive nutrition from your skin cells, and they get it from sweat, sebum, or what we put onto the skin, and it's there to protect. How wonderful, all these amazing organelles, all these amazing functions that the body has to protect us. So not only is it a physical barrier to the penetration of the pathogenic bacteria into your skin, but it also is there to create an inhospitable environment for the growth of many pathogens. But often there is an imbalance in the function of your microbiome, and then we end up with acne, with various forms of acne that we are facing as therapists. Now, I've mentioned good and bad bacteria. What are good bacteria? They're commensal, they're mutualistic, they promote the natural pH of the skin, they produce antimicrobial compounds, they reinforce that barrier that we want to keep so healthy, and they protect us from inflammation. So what does the pathogenic bacteria do? The bad bacteria. They cause infections, they cause skin diseases and disorders, they contribute to eczema, rosacea, acne, sepsis, they lead to inflammation and redness, and they release enzymes that degrade collagen. So there's nothing good about having too much bad bacteria on your skin. So when we look at what Nimue is bringing to you now is that micro language of the skin, where we want to restore your skin's natural instinctive defense system and the balance of the skin flora. There are so many factors that contribute to balancing or imbalancing of your microbiota, your biological factors. And I mean, we can just talk about this slide for an hour, but your age and gender, your genetics, your environmental exposure, sun, wind, heat and cold shocks, the climate, pollution, not to mention lifestyle factors, your beauty routine, what do you use at home? Do you use anything at all? Your emotional well-being has a huge effect on your healthy skin or unhealthy skin. Sleep, do you sleep enough? We know when we talk about glycation, all of these factors also relate back to sleep and emotional well-being, and of course to acne. And then your nutrition. Do you follow a high carbohydrate diet? Do you drink and eat too many sugary foods? And what effect does that have on your skin and acne? And maybe a lack of exercise. How does that affect, during lifestyle factors, your reduction in your microbial barrier or an improvement in your microbial barrier? So what we focused on in the new range is what we call dermabiotics. Now, in dermabiotics, there are three main groups: prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. We are going to focus on prebiotics and postbiotics. Let's have a quick look at the differences. Your prebiotic, that is where we provide food. We provide nutrients to the good bacteria. We feed them, we make them nice and healthy and fat. It's compatible with your microbiome, and it helps the cells to multiply. So examples of prebiotics that we have used, and there are more that we've added, is your inulin, yeast beta-glucan, and Undaria pinnatifida, which are all working together to provide a source of food, a source of nutrient to your good bacteria. The beauty of the selection of prebiotics that we have used is that they cannot be metabolized by harmful bacteria. So no harmful bacteria can uptake it and become more in their right. So your prebiotic, what do we want to achieve? We want to modify the microbial population. We want to further protect the skin and the barrier. We want to build the biolipid layer. We want to maintain the inflammation levels in a cellular aspect as well as topically, act as a humectant because these skins are often really dehydrated, and of course stimulate the skin immunity, which altogether maintains skin health. So that's the main reason we offer prebiotic in this range. So a probiotic is something that we usually ingest Now, we don't offer a probiotic in this range, but just for you to be able to differentiate, your probiotic is usually in the form of live microorganisms, live bacteria cultures. If you use it live on the skin, it's going to have healing benefits, and often it's used orally to increase gut health in the body. And the most common groups here is your lactobacillus and your bifidobacterium. So should you take a probiotic orally, what you would see again is a modification in the bacteria. You will then see again an increase in the good bacteria on the microbiome, stimulation of your immune system, helping you to fight off bad bacteria and decrease pathogens. So it's lovely to always use your probiotic when you have acne as an oral method together with your range for healthy skin, no acne-free skin. Now we come to something new Nimue's included, and that's a postbiotic. A postbiotic is by adding a byproduct of bacteria. So what we want to do here, what is a byproduct? A byproduct of bacteria is produced when your probiotics digest without introducing live bacteria. So we want to basically include a postbiotic to act as a shield, to act as a decrease in inflammation system and cell inflammation decrease system. By adding our unique postbiotic, we further support a healthy microbiome. We further support an increase in good bacteria and reducing inflammation, decreasing pathogens, and lowering oxidative stress. So we are feeding it on the one side, and then we are supporting it with our postbiotic on the other hand. Now, as you know our range before the launch, we've always looked at the importance of using our wonderful three-phase system. So we will continue to use our cleanser. You'll continue to use the conditioner. You continue to use your active wipes or whichever form of active you prefer, and you'll continue with your treatments. So it still works hand in hand in a very effective three-phase system. We have never believed in stripping the skin's barrier. We've never used a product where you would need a toner after you've cleansed to restore the pH. That's never been our philosophy. We've always focused on the strength or the pH value of our products, as you know, in basic training, and we've believed in responsible exfoliation and peeling systems. Hence our exfoliating enzymes and our very well-formulated peels that we offer our clients. So our past and our present really work well together, because with our new concept, focusing on smart technology, skin biome smart technology, we have delivered a very effective three-phase system together with how we then support the microbiome layer. So the dermabiotic strategy is to target the microbiome so that we can maintain skin health and prevent too many pathogenic bacteria on the skin. So what we want to do is create a great, favorable, good, healthy environment for the good microbiomes. And we want to shift that microbial balance by reducing those troublemaking microbes that we will see in the course of our acne. So we are using our dermabiotics together with our Nimue core technology to bring you the absolute best treatment. So let's look at what these ingredients are that we've used. The one that makes me really excited is the postbiotic. I just love how it works. It's called Morinda citrifolia callus culture lysate. I feel very clever when I say that. If you had to take this off screen, I will just say noni because I forget then, or Morinda citrifolia. So you will see in many of our teachers' notes and in many of our manual inserts, we just refer to it as Morinda citrifolia, but it's also known as noni. It includes a patented active with censoring signals that will denature bad bacteria. So let's see how that happens. With our Morinda citrifolia, what we want to do have an effect on how microbes communicate. And do they communicate? Definitely. Do microbes communicate with one another? They love chatting, just like we love chatting, but the good ones together with the bad ones. So as much as our good bacteria talks to each other and accumulate more good bacteria, so does the bad. It's much like a business where there's good and bad. The skin is exactly the same. So what we wanted to create with our Miranda citrifolia is referring to quorum sensing. Now, quorum sensing, what that term refers to is the density of microorganism population on your skin. So basically, when it realizes that your population is dense, it starts to communicate and create biofilms. Now, when these biofilms are created during many more than one type of microorganisms, they now create more microorganisms. So they communicate with each other in the biofilm to create more microorganisms. So when there's this biofilm formation, we see an inflammatory response and we see acne as a result. It's basically the same as if somebody tells you a very exciting story or maybe a piece of gossip. It can never just stay between two people. It always comes out and it's communicated to a whole bunch of people. And that's the same with our bad microorganisms. So if we can use this technology, this information of what quorum sensing does, understanding that it communicates with each other, why don't we hack it? People hack our laptops, they hack social media all the time. So why can't we hack the communication between bad bacteria? And that is what Miranda citrifolia does. It hacks how bad bacteria communicate with one another, and it stops them from being able to produce too many more pathogenic bacteria. So it hacks that communication system. Your Miranda citrifolia is incredibly rich in anti-quorum sensing molecules, hacking the system. And what's beautiful about that, it does not hack the communication between good bacteria. So it blocks communication signals between microbes to stop the formation of those biofilms to avoid attack by more harmful bacteria. Incredible, wonderful technology. We use this ingredient in the New Purifier Day, the New Purifier Night, as well as the completely new Purifying Serum. So why Miranda citrifolia? Why did we decide to use this? We know how acne is formed. We think of the bacteria that form acne. We know that the androgen hormones increase sebum production, leads to blockages in your pilosebaceous unit. There's a huge increase in your P. acne bacteria because of that anaerobic condition. And what we want then to avoid is that quorum sensing that takes place and the communication of creating more bad bacteria by adding an ingredient that has anti-quorum sensing ability. So your Miranda citrifolia prevents communication between bad bacteria, prevents the biofilms that form when the bad bacteria communicate, and it will assist with the management of inflammatory response and less acne flare-ups. So basically, your Miranda citrifolia quorum sensing leading to an action of no quorum sensing and no additional biofilm creation on the skin, creating more acne. We decrease the sebum, we reduce the large pores. So here we have a positive effect on the enlargement of the pores over years, inhibit P. acne, and of course, what more do we want than an anti-inflammatory in the skin? We've also added 2 new prebiotics. Remember, what's a prebiotic? It's the food. And the prebiotics we are using includes inulin and yogurt powder. So what we want to give here to our good bacteria is more substance, more food to grow, to become more, to help to reduce inflammation and, of course, infection in the sites that we are dealing with. The type here is we use a combination of inulin that's combined with yogurt powder. Now, inulin is a natural prebiotic. Yogurt derived from your prebiotic fermentation balances your skin microbiome. So we are now able to provide the good food for the good bacteria, reducing harmful bacteria. We use this technology of the inulin combined with yogurt powder in the new day cream, the new night cream, as well as the new mask. We also use the same prebiotic that we've used in the past in our superfluid. So we also include encapsulated inulin, yeast beta-glucan, and Undaria pinnatifida extract. Now, these are polysaccharides, and they are encapsulated in a cellular matrix, which you know from our training that we've done in the past of superfluids also help to feed and to provide more substance to beneficial bacteria. Inulin, apart from the fact that inulin is really a very effective humectant, we find it in the roots of plants. And if you know that if you find technology from roots of plants, it's where energy is stored, and it also regulates a plant's natural internal temperature. We use your yeast beta-glucan, which inhibits free radical activity, a huge concern with acne skin and promotes healing. And then Undaria pinnatifida extract, which is found in brown seaweed and activates the cell metabolism. In that formulation together, also then providing food and energy to the good bacteria. This type of our prebiotic is used in the serum, the purifying serum. Some awesome ingredients we've added in the new formulation that I think you're going to be so excited about is nicotinamide, or vitamin B3. Nicotinamide is essential to help our bodies and our skin fight off inflammation and supports wound healing and increases barrier function. A really powerful antioxidant. It's used in so many different formulations nowadays because of the great assistance it also offers in cell DNA repair. Beautiful ingredient. And as it is working on all those other levels, it also limits the appearance of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that's often associated with acne. This ingredient is used in all the new 4 products. Encapsulated retinol, very excited to see this in this range, the natural occurring form of your vitamin A in a slow release system. This offers advanced rejuvenation while we treat the skin for acne and for hyperpigmentation and for the congestion. So a nice all-rounder ingredient for the rejuvenation of the skin. This ingredient, our retinol, will only be in the Purifier Night and the Purifier Serum. A lovely ingredient we've added in this range that is in one of our professional peels is pumpkin enzyme. Now, pumpkin enzyme, if it's used, it can be used in so many ways. You get brands where that uses pumpkin enzymes that's really, really an aggressive exfoliator. But we use it in a lovely combination that is gentle and really effective as an exfoliator. And that helps to soften those protein bonds between dead cells. So it releases the trapped bacteria. It releases the impurities and gives that skin a nice polished look. And this ingredient is found in the new mask. Salicylic acid. We all know from our history in skin, salicylic acid is a beautiful beta hydroxy acid that is so effective in the treatment of oily skin, congested skin, enlarged pores and breakouts. It's an absolute natural anti-inflammatory and anti-irritant, ideal ingredient to use for an oily skin. And this ingredient is in the mask. So those of you that heard salicylic acid and you remember from older trainings, oh my goodness, Eunice, but we know that people that are allergic to aspirin cannot use salicylic acid. It's okay, it's only in the mask. So you could still put them on this range, you will just avoid this specific mask. Encapsulated tea tree, which is a big favorite of ours in the treatment of acne skin. We've used it before, we're still using it, our oil-soluble beta-hydroxy acid, and of course, a superficial peeling agent in the day and night cream. Lacto complex, an all-time favorite ingredient of ours because you know it balances the function of your sebaceous gland. You can use this ingredient on a dry skin as well as an oily skin, and it really helps to restore the acid mantle. So if you ever wondered what the lacto complex is composed of, it's glutamic acid, methionine, cysteine, and vitamin B6 and H. And this is found in our purifier day and our purifier night. Some more secondary ingredients, bisabolol, beautiful anti-inflammatory. We know we need anti-inflammatory ingredients in treating acne. And this ingredient is in the purifier day and the serum. Lactobionic acid derived from natural sugars. And I love it because our skin is made up of sugars. So the skin does not see it as something foreign. It accepts it into the skin. So it helps to further contribute to the facilitation of gentle exfoliation of the skin. And lactobionic acid also helps with the penetration of actives. And that's what we want to achieve, right? We want to help with the penetration of actives into the skin when treating this concern. And mandelic acid, an all-time favorite when we work with acne because of the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, where we can then help to suppress the pigmentation that's formed due to the acne lesions on the skin. Now we see some interesting ingredients, and these three are in the mask. This is such an awesome mask. It's the same mask for home care than it is for professional, but it's completely different than what you've ever used on your client or at home. We use charcoal powder, which, as you know from one of our other peels, charcoal powder is sourced from the binkutan tree, and the binkutan tree is helping us to create sustainability, because when they take the active from the tree, they don't chop off the trees. They basically just take off the tops of the trees, and the trees just keep on growing. So your charcoal powder purifies and detoxifies the skin. If you're into interesting history, the charcoal powder from the binkutan tree from Japan was used for centuries for purification, where they would just burn it in their homes or during meetings to purify the air around them. We've also included in this mask a black clay. So yes, the mask is black on skin. And this black clay is from the volcanic region in France, and it helps to absorb toxins that is so much visible on this type of skin that creates so much disarray between the microbiome layer, between good and bad, as well as your biolipid layer. And it further helps to absorb excess oils, exfoliates the skin and tightens the skin. And then another incredible ingredient is methoxypropanoidal. Methoxypropanoidal is used as a cooling agent. What more do you want after a treatment for an inflamed acne skin, whether it's at home or in the salon, in the cabin, than something that's going to cool down the skin immediately? So this is our sensory agent, creates a beautiful cooling effect on the skin, soothes away that inflammation, that overstimulation, and it really just creates a wonderful feeling should you want to do a deep cleanse or want to do a treatment for acne types of skin. In this formulation, our focus has changed from using a new or a different type of delivery system to using penetration enhancers. So what we do with dimethyl azosorbate is basically preparing the epidermis to uptake the actives into the skin. So your dimethyl azosorbate optimizes the delivery of active ingredients into the skin. And it also assists with the spreadability of the product in an even way wherever you apply the product, whether it's in the salon with your mask or whether it's at home with your home care. So it really is very effective technology to use in this type of formulation. And this technology is used in all 4 of the new products. So if we look at this range, It consists of a purifier day, purifier night, purifying serum, and purifying mask. So easy to use. Cleanse, condition your active, these products, SPF and exfoliator, and off you go. You've got wonderful skin results. Professional, we've added a purifying mask, a new mask. It's the same as for home care, a big winner, and people love it. When we tested it, we fell in love with this mask, and I'm sure you will too, as will your clients. So the selling points, it's now a compact range of 4 new products. You don't have to choose one of the other day creams so that the client can't get confused when they use these products now. It's based on dermabiotics and our key actives and our 3-phase system that's always been a winning recipe for Nimue. And our active ingredients interact with one another so that all work extremely well together from your cleanser right through your whole new range to your sun protection. So our key focus, target surface sebum, congestion, inflammation, treating acne. And we've also very excited to tell you that we have had clinical tests done for efficacy on 3 of the 4 products in a laboratory in Europe, in the EU, to prove our claims, as well, of course, as our in-house R&D studies that was based on VisiaScan images and clinical testing. When you now come for your training, for your basic training or refresher training with Vital Plus, you will receive, this is your PowerPoint or your manual insert. Purifier Day comes at a pH of 4.5, a nice 50 ml tube, and you will use it exactly the same as always with a day cream after cleanse and condition, and should you use the pre and post after pre and post. Your main ingredients, your nicotinamide, that beautiful Mirinda citrifolia that is going to help to hack that communication system of bad bacteria, and the prebiotic is inulin and yogurt powder combined. Plus we have added 2.5% glycolic acid in the Purifier Day. So what we do here is help to control and maintain the levels of your good bacteria while we reduce surface oils and mattifies the skin. How to sell this to my client? My selling tip is mattifying. It's really fast absorbing, very lightweight on the skin, lightly exfoliates and calms the skin down. The clinical trials that came back from the independent laboratory in Europe showed the count of inflammatory lesions was reduced significantly in 60% of volunteers. The surface lipid reduction was also significant and was visible between 6 and 8 hours after application still. And the positive effect was observed by 75% of the volunteers. And pore refinement, again, a significant reduction and also observed by 75% volunteers. The night cream at a pH of 4.5, so you know it's within our pH level that we supply our phase 1 to you to. We will use it exactly as we used our night cream before. Your nicotinamide is active in this formulation, your Mirinda citrifolia, your hacker, and your inulin and yogurt powder combination, plus your encapsulated retinol and 5% AHA. So remember, told you we have kept some of our really effective ingredients that we knew worked in the past, and we just made it more effective. So our 5% to help to control and maintain all levels of acne in the skin. And of course, both our day and our night cream will have a really effective hydration effect on the skin as well. When the independent trials came back, we saw a significant reduction in lesions, in surface lipids, as well as in pore refinement. With our night cream, we have seen a 95% volunteer efficacy that was seen in the use of the night cream. Very excited about these results. The serum What's different in the serum is we've added mandelic acid, and our postbiotic is the same, but our prebiotic is different. So in our serum, our prebiotic is the encapsulated inulin, yeast, beta-glucan, and Undaria pinnatifida, together with our retinol and mandelic acid. So it really is a highly active. We recommend that this is used at nighttime only, and it really will help to control and balance the microbiome layer of the skin. Some selling tips: mattifying, brightening, anti-redness, anti-inflammation, reduction in pore size, smoothing of the skin, a really wonderfully effective serum for these clients. Efficacy results that came back from the independent trials again showed a 95% pore refinement, 95% volunteer efficacy in pore refinement, in surface lipids, and the count of inflammatory lesions between 70% volunteers had a positive result and 65% with surface lipids. And it really showed on skin for 6 to 8 hours post-treatment. The mask is the only product we did not send for clinical trials. We know these ingredients, we know how they work. So we have our nicotinamide, beautiful antioxidant, salicylic acid, works right there where the source of concern is, pumpkin enzyme, charcoal powder, the French black clay, and the prebiotic inulin and yogurt powder. And this is the only one that, should your client possibly be allergic to aspirin, to avoid use. You use it at home 15 to 20 minutes, and you can apply this once or even twice weekly. The one for professional use is exactly the same, ladies, gentlemen. It only comes in a 100 ml tube, and in the salon, you can also leave it on 10 to 15 minutes. If you do have time in your cabin treatment, it can also stay on for 20 minutes. To remove it, we just use damp gauze or compressors and remove it easily. What I love about the salon is, for instance, the ease thermal detox peel. That can be quite challenging to remove, not in this case. In this case, it really comes off easily, and it reduces breakouts and detoxifies the skin. So in a nutshell, our old range was based on AHAs and tea tree, where our new range, as you've seen, is based on dermabiotics and new ingredients. Our core actors have changed. There's a thread of the 4 products used together, and we now have a separate day and night cream, and we've used penetration enhancers. We've also added calming agents, cooling agents, and you have seen that we've also now done independent trials, and we've got a bit more of a sensorial aspect, where before that was not the case. So a lovely experience, a lovely touch and feel. To end off, I want to just share with you some of our in-house trials. This was a client age 25. Her concern was occasional breakouts. She was on the complete range, including the cleansing gel and conditioner. And what we did for her in treatments, we did 2 Nimue SRC for problematic skin. We did 2 TCAs in South Africa, but what we would recommend in the instance in Europe and in Australia, New Zealand, is instead of the TCA, to here do our glycolic acid peel for the effective result that we have had on this client. Here you can see a 29% improvement in erythema and a 24% improvement in the porphyrin ratio on the skin. And that was after approximately 3 months. This is a young client that we've worked on. She was age 23, same range. She did SRCs. You can select as her other peels TCA or glycolic acid peels. And she had extremely high levels of inflammation, but also extreme dryness. So here with her, we actually saw a 41% improvement in spot appearance reduction and a 20% improvement, which is quite high in such a short time, in the improvement of erythema. And this is the young girl that I wanted to share with you. She's 13, so you could definitely start these treatments on an active acne teenage active acne, a typical active acne where their hormones start to go haywire and they need some more treatment than just the typical youth range. So she had suffered from severe congestion, she had blackheads, she had pustules, and a very high level of inflammation and sebum. She was on the same range. She needed more treatment for this result. So she had the 3 designer peels for problematic skin. In your instance, you would do 3 glycolic acid peels where we focused on TCA. You could see after 3 months a 21% improvement in spot appearance, and the erythema, 15% on this hormonal teenage acne, was just wonderful. And I'm happy to say that she still goes back for her regular treatments to our in-house salon, and her skin health is absolutely maintained now. So that, everybody, is our new range. It is wonderful, it's exciting, it's different, it's got sensorial elements. There is just so much to offer. And I hope that you found this helpful and exciting, and that you are looking forward to using it and to sharing it with all your clients. But thank you so much for joining me today. Over to you, Frank.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Eunice. That was so informative. Even if you were not going to use the products, just to understand how microbiome works on the skin, I really, really enjoyed that whole part. I really enjoyed understanding the difference between pre and post biotics. It makes a lot of sense that you nourish, because diversity is such an important aspect of your microbiome. And so you want to nourish, you don't want to, those healthy and good bacteria, but also the whole thing about the communication, how you can hack the communication. And it was really fascinating, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not a beauty therapist, so I'm sure everybody here did too. We do have a launching offer. If you're a client with Vital Plus, then you know you can access the promotion on our website. If you're not a client, then it's easy to contact us. You can just send us an information, your questions to info@Vital+. I've just put it on our chat, in the chat box, so you'll have the information there. All we need is your name, the name of your salon, your phone number, and your email address. It's all there in the chat box. Thank you for joining us, everybody. A very special thank you to Eunice for her time and her wonderful presentation. All the technical files are available with us. If you haven't already received them, let us know. Have a very good evening, and I will see you soon again. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy dinner. I'm going to have lunch.
Yeah,
bye.
I'm going to do that.
Take care. Thank you, Frank. Thanks, team.
Thank you. Bye.